Sakamoto Days, Episode 1. We got a retired mercenary assassin who is just trying to live the life. So let's talk about it. All right, so we're watching Sakamoto Days. It just dropped on Netflix today, and this is about as an assassin who decided to put down his gun and pick up a scanner to work at a convenience store. That's about the gist of it, and we just find out how he's dealing with everyday life and what adjustments he has to make from there. So this starts off pretty solid. Like you got this great action sequence where you see him in his younger days and he is out here just working people over. I'm talking about the efficiency of the people, how he's taking people out. So that is absolutely awesome. Like it's showing that god tier like assassination. He's legendary. This is what he's known for, and this is what he does. So he's having a good time. His name is Taro Sakamoto, and this is just his thing. Eventually, he's in there buying groceries. It looks like at the convenience store, probably the same convenience store, and he ends up falling in love. And like it was like love at first sight. And from there, he ended up going on to have a kid and just became out of shape. And this is where you see that he's, a big guy now like that. Which hey, marriage happens sometimes. So after this, we end up seeing it's kind of listed as day one for that. Young blonde guy comes looking for him and basically, questions. And we see Sakamoto kind of chilling by the register doing his thing. Kid, this random neighborhood kid's kind of getting in trouble with one of the local patrons, and Sakamoto has to stop him. But his thoughts were immediately to take the dude out with like a ballpoint pen, like just straight take him out, like no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He doesn't, and he's restrained, but that's his thought. And the young guy who comes walking in, Shin, he's a clairvoyant. We find that out, but he's able to perceive this. That that's his first thought was to take him out with a pen, and he questions him on it. He's like, "Hey, I used to work for you. I used to follow you around and kind of work with you and do all the kind of things that you do." And he just kind of like, "Okay, cool, whatever," and goes on with his business. Like that's pretty much it. We see him again, just kind of go through. We find out it's been 5 years since he retired, and he's got a daughter. She's around, and his wife is there. Like beautiful family. He's just kind of chilling. And he's eating his noodles. He loves to snack on his noodles and stuff. Well, once Shin, verifies who he is and all that stuff, he steps out, ends up calling the boss and letting the boss know that, hey, yo, he's not a threat. He's chilling. Like, why we worried about him? And the boss is like, no, he needs to be taken out. Like, you don't leave the organization without prior authorization. You just walked out, so you will be taken out. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, that's his plan. That's how he wants him done. So Shen is just like, all right, fine, whatever. So Shen eventually ends up going in there. It's like, all right, well, let's get ready to do this. And even though he's having these thoughts, he's just like, I got a job to do. Goes in there, immediately goes to take him out. And without hesitation, Sakamoto manages to take him out. He starts off by spitting out a piece of candy to deflect the bullet. So the bullet's off trajectory. And then he's lightning fast. Like, this is a big dude, and he is lightning fast. He ends up getting out of the way, and basically he's able to dispatch Shin with freaking like brutal efficiency. Like, takes him smooth out, drops him, kicks him through things in the store, so like that. Like, he destroys part of the store doing it, but it's like no sweat to him because like, man, I guess he'll fix it because it was like set up the next day. But Shin finds himself in the bed, like recovering, and he's just like, what happened? What's going on? And Sakamoto's chilling. Sakamoto's not trying to take him out. He didn't try, he was very passive about it. And Sakamoto's there with his family eating dinner. He's feeding his daughter. He's chilling. And Shin is allowed to sit down and come eat, and he tastes the food because he's been sitting in his apartment that he's got for like 2 days of rations because he's only supposed to be there for a short time. And he's just eating crap. So the fact that he's got a full prepared meal in front of him and he bites into it, he's like, this is heavenly. Like, I understand why you left. Like, I get it now. This is so good. And he just kind of, takes it upon himself. He's like, all right, I got to go back and talk to the boss and let him know what's going on. So he goes back and he talks to the boss, and he's like, hey, yo, this was going on. He's trying to live his life and just be peaceful. Like, there's nothing else to it. Like, leave him be. Like, he's even willing to give up his life for him. He's like, look, I'll take myself out and go, and you can do what you do and leave him alone. So the guy agrees, like, all right, fine, and he decides, yep, nope, I'm gonna take you out too, because I don't need you here. Go ahead and off yourself, and then I'm gonna still go take out Sakamoto. And that's when Shin's like, yep, nope, gotta go, and starts fighting everybody. Now we see the Sakamoto is listening in. So he done put some kind of tracker or listening device on him at some point in time when he knocked him out. He's listening on everything. And we see he switched his whole store around into a freaking armory. Like, yo, he is ready to rock and roll. If something ever came up across the field, he is ready to go. Zombie apocalypse ready type stuff. And out of everything he has, he goes and he grabs a taser. And this is more akin to his passive aggressive, type stuff. Like, he will take somebody out if necessary, but he is, more for discombobulating and, dropping people through unconsciousness as opposed to actually assassinate more people. So he ends up showing up once Shin ends up getting, too much to handle and gets shot in the leg. Sakamoto shows up and starts doing some crazy stuff. I'm talking, he is moving wicked fast, like no problem whatsoever. He is catching bullets with chopsticks, like chopsticks. Like, he catches look like a pair of bullets with chopsticks and just tosses them to the side. And he is taking people out. Don't get me wrong, he's not going to hurt people. Like, he is still throwing knives and daggers like into people's shoulders and stuff like that. And he's fast enough and strong enough to cut through, the front barrel of the pistols and stuff like that. Like, he is going ham, and he takes out everybody. And in the process of taking out everybody, he just kind of looks over at Shin, and we also found out that Shin, his clairvoyance has a radius. You have to be close to him for his clairvoyance to kick in. And Sakamoto walks up to him and was like, oh, and then shows him where in his gun where the tracker was. Because I was sitting in his gun somewhere, and tracker just pops out and just like, cool. Tosses him an apron and is like, you'll work, you'll get paid like 800 yen or something like that. And if you work overtime, you'll be compensated, cool. That was it. Nothing else. And Shin accepts. We're like, no problem. So we see like the next day, him and Shin are at the store and working, and Sakamoto's able to hide his thoughts from Shin when he wants to, but he lets Shin know, like, hey, do not tell anybody about what you used to do. Because a little noisy kid comes up, like, what you used to do before? He's like, no, I enjoy working here. I'm here. And he's good because he's able to help customers find what they need. He knows exactly what they're thinking and what they need. And he helps this old lady with hers. So we see that this is going to be an interesting dynamic as far as Sakamoto and now his young cashier apprentice. So we'll be teaching him the ways of the store, but probably also ways to take people out if they get too close. We see that the family is good. We see that the daughter is, very playful and happy and enjoying her life and stuff. So Sakamoto will do anything to protect his family, it looks like, without question, and anybody he cares about, even a little neighbor kid and Shin as well. So shaping up to be a fun anime. Definitely gonna have a comedic approach. I'm getting, if you haven't watched it, the Way of the House Husband, I'm getting those kind of vibes. Real fun. Like, hey, I can handle business when necessary, but other than that, lighthearted, chill, just going through everyday life, and it's gonna be really, really up to him to make sure his family is protected. And now with Shin in the mix, and everybody gonna be coming after these two, we got to see what, if now that boss started taking out, we got to see if there's any greater threats that are coming and what's happening from there. So by all means, I appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure you, listening. Make sure you hit that lovely red subscribe button. Again, I'm going to probably keep tabs on this show and keep watching this along with Solo Leveling. And then the next animated thing we got coming out is Spider-Man, coming out on Disney Plus at some point earlier in I'll say early February, late January, early February, somewhere time in there, and we'll keep an eye on that one as well. So that's all I got. I'll catch you guys in the next one.